Hello students, welcome to my channel. We were continuing the chapter electrochemistry, and in the previous lecture I have discussed regarding the equivalent conductance and molar conductance, you can remember. Now in the comment section of that lecture I have given you a problem. If you can solve that problem, then you will get satisfied that your understanding is clear regarding how to determine equivalent conductance or specific conductance. So, you go to the comment section of the previous lecture, previous to this one, that is titled as equivalent conductance and molar conductance, and you can find the problem there, try to solve it. Now, I will not solve that problem, but I have generated a similar problem, almost similar. So, I will solve this problem for you. Now, you just watch it. If you are unable to solve that problem, you watch it, you practice it, then I think you will be able to solve that problem. And after solving that problem, please post the answer in the comment section with proper unit. Okay. So, let us start. Now, the topic of today's lecture is not solving numerical problems. Today's topic is effect of dilution on equivalent or molar and specific conductance. So, we will study today the effect of dilution on equivalent conductance and the effect of dilution on specific conductance. But before going to that, just I am helping you how to solve numerical problems associated with equivalent conductance or specific conductance. So, this is a demo, and with the help of this you please try to solve the given problem and post your answer in the comment section. So, since equivalent conductance or specific conductance is a function of temperature, it is an important factor to note. Now, it is given that the resistance of 0.1 normal KCl is 45 ohm and that of 0.01 normal NaCl is 490 ohm. So, we divide this area into two parts. One is for 0.1 normal KCl and another is for 0.01 normal NaCl. Now, the resistance that are given, it is here 45 ohm, and here the resistance given is 490 ohm. Now, what is the concentration? These are the concentrations. What you have to find? You have to find the equivalent conductance. Equivalent conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl solution. You have to find the equivalent conductance of this solution at 25 degree centigrade. Now, if you wish to determine the equivalent conductance, you have to use the formula, the working formula, that is 1000 kappa by C, that I have derived in the previous class. So, you put the formula here. So, it is 1000 kappa by C. Now, what is the value of C? This is the concentration in gram equivalent. So, it is 0.01 concentration in normality. So, we have 1000 kappa by 0.01. Now, you can easily understand that to have the value of this equivalent conductance, you must have a knowledge of its specific conductance. So, we need the relation conductance equals to specific conductance into A by L, or specific conductance kappa equals to L into L by A. Now, what is the value of this L? This L is the conductance, so it is the reciprocal of resistance, or kappa equals to, this L is 1 by R, so it is 1 by R into L by A. Now, this 1 by R, it is given here, it is 1 by 490, it is 1 by 490, we put the value of resistance, and it is the cell constant. Now, can you find the value of cell constant in this problem? No. So, if you get the cell constant value, then you will put that value here, and you will get the value of specific conductance, and using that value in this equation you will get the equivalent conductance. So, that is not supplied in the problem, but it is indirectly given to you. So, you have to determine the cell constant using the data of KCL. So, here the resistance given is 45 ohm. Now, again we know the relation, that is L equals to kappa into A by L. So, kappa equals to L into L by A. So, what will be the value of cell constant? So, L by A will be kappa by capital L. So, you take this conductance to the left hand side. So, you will get kappa by capital L. Now, L is 1 by R, reciprocal of resistance. So, it will be kappa into R. Okay. Now, you have the value of resistance, it is 45 ohm. Now, where is from where you can get the specific conductance of 0.1 normal KCL? You can remember in the previous lecture, or in the lecture previous to that one also, I have told you that Kohlraasch and his co-workers did a monumental task in determining the specific conductances of KCL solution accurately for different concentrations at different temperatures. So, from that chart you have to copy the value of specific conductance of KCL. So, from the chart, this is the chart that is obtained by Kohlraasch. Now, here I have edited that chart. I have only taken that part which is necessary at 25 degree centigrade, and it also includes the equivalent conductance in addition to the specific conductance. Now, we need this concentration 0.1 normal. So, where is that? This is in this row 0.1 normal. So, we will stick to this row, and it is KCL. So, it is KCL and it is 25 degree centigrade. So, it is 25 degree centigrade. Now, in the original chart there will be different temperatures, there will be different concentrations. So, among a large number of concentrations you have to find that exact concentration that is given in the problem, and among all the temperatures you have to find that temperature which is given in the problem. So, using the proper row and proper column you have to find the value of specific conductance. Now, for our problem the specific conductance of 0.1 normal KCL solution at 25 degree centigrade is this one. So, this value is required. So, you put here equals to, copy it correctly, 0.0128886 into what is the resistance, it is 45. So, you can have the value of cell constant. Now, kappa will change, resistance will change for this solution when we switch from 0.1 normal KCl to 0.01 normal NaCl. When we switch from this solution to this solution, conductance will change, specific conductance will change, since this resistance is changing. But what is not changing? It is the cell constant, because it is not the property of the electrolytic solution, it is the property of the conductivity cell with the help of which you are measuring the conductance. or the resistance with the Wheatstone bridge principle. So, using the same conductivity cell, you have to perform the entire experiment. You are not allowed to change that conductivity cell for this problem. For another problem like this, you may take another cell, but until this problem gets solved, you have to use the single conductivity cell, since we are ready to use this cell constant value over there. So, we have the value of cell constant, it is 0.012886 into 45. So, we put here 0.012886 into 45. Now, this is the value of specific conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl. So, you put this value here. So, it is 1000 by 0.01, and the kappa value, it is 1 by 490 into 0.012886 into 45. Now, you have to carefully put it in calculator. It is 1000 into 0.012886 into 45 divided by 490 divided by 0.01. So, it is 118.34. So, this equivalent conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl, it is NaCl at 25 degree centigrade is 180.34. Now, what is the unit? It is ohm inverse centimeter square per gram equivalent. So, they have asked you to find the equivalent conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl. So, this is the equivalent conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl. So, this is how you have to solve the problem. Now, in the previous lecture, I have given the similar problem in the comment section. Please find the answer, solve it and post your answer in that section. See, this is the value of equivalent conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl at 25 degree centigrade. Now, in this chart you can have the value of the equivalent conductance for KCl at 25 degree centigrade for the same concentration. So, lambda for 0.01 normal KCl at 25 degree centigrade. See, I am keeping the concentration same, the temperature same, but switching from NaCl to KCl. So, that is given here, it is 0.01 normal. See, temperature is 25 degree centigrade, it is for KCl. So, the value is this 0.01 normal, it is lambda. So, value is 141.27 ohm inverse centimeter square per gram equivalent. So, you see, you have to find the data, you have to collect the required data and you have to compare them, and you have to find the reason why such variation is occurring. So, if you wish to build your career with science, then you must develop such attitude that you must question to whom, not that you have to question your teacher first. Question yourself that why is the variation occurring. Now, for that you have to find the variation, you have to locate the variation, you have to identify the problem. Problem is everywhere, but science students are looking for problem. So, you have to find the problem, locate the problem, then you have to try to solve them. So, this mind setup will take you to your future, where you can serve the mankind with your scientific attitude. So, here see, I have solved the problem where I have found the equivalent conductance of 0.01 normal NaCl at 25 degree centigrade to be 118.34 ohm inverse centimeter square per gram equivalent. So, when you get this value, do not satisfy with yourself that I have got the value, I have to report it to teacher. That you will do, but since you have this value and also you know from the chart that is prepared by Kohlraasch et al., you will have the value of KCl of same concentration as of your problem at the same temperature. So, you have the value of equivalent conductance for KCl. So, that value is 141.27 for KCl. For NaCl it is 118.34. So, why is such difference getting into the picture? What is the reason for this difference? So, first you have to find the problem, then you have to crack the problem. This procedure will develop scientific minds. Okay. So, that is one aspect. Now, you have to solve this problem. This is the previous one was a numerical problem. Now, this is another problem which you have to solve it from physical intuition. Obviously, you must have a knowledge on basic chemistry to solve it. So, what we have obtained that all the parameters remaining constant when we switch from NaCl to KCl, we have the value of equivalent conductance of KCl to be greater than NaCl. See, this is 118.34 and this value is 141.27. So, which one is greater? For KCl it is greater. Now, at this point one may ask you that the anions in both the electrolytes are same. So, we will not introduce the theories of anions here, since they will have identical contribution in both the salts, in both the cases. So, we will we will focus only on the cations, that is, here it is K plus potassium and here it is sodium. So, this potassium plus and sodium plus is going to control this order, that is equivalent conductance of KCl is greater than equivalent conductance of NaCl will be controlled by these cations only. Now, what is the atomic weight of sodium? The atomic weight of sodium is 23. For sodium plus it will remain almost 23, since the mass of an electron is negligible. And what about the potassium ion? It is 39.1. So, I am ignoring that 0.1. So, which one is heavier? Potassium is obviously heavier. So, it will be more difficult for potassium ions to flow in water than sodium ion while travelling towards the electrode. Conductance should be greater for this species NaCl than this one. So, the theoretical prediction is the order must be the reverse one. Na plus is lighter, so it will travel at a greater speed at a constant temperature. So, it must have represented or it must have manifested a greater conductance value. But what we get in reality? We get in reality that actually the heavier one is travelling faster than the lighter one. So, why is this occurring? When you take NaCl in water and KCl in water, they both undergo 100% dissociation. These are strong electrolytes. I will deal this effect of concentration on equivalent and specific conductance in the next lecture of the chapter electrochemistry, where I will discuss in detail regarding strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. So, NaCl and KCl both are strong electrolytes and they will dissociate 100% in aqueous solution. Now, in water they will remain hydrated. This is aqua, 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 aqua. Now, again I have already told you that we will not take these anions into consideration because these two are common. So, what only the cations will be responsible for this order. So, which salt will have a greater value for conductance will be guided by the cations only and not the anions here. Now, what is the electronic configuration of these cations? This is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. It will release the 3s1 electron to get the configuration of neon, and it will be 3s2, 3p6. So, the valence shells are closed for both the species, but here the valence shell is second shell and here the valence shell is third shell. So, sodium plus will be smaller in size compared to potassium. So, the radius of potassium ion will be greater than sodium ion. Okay. Now, they both are carrying the same amount of charge. They both are carrying same amount of charge, but it is having a greater radius. So, what will be the polarizing power? The polarizing power phi is defined as charge by radius. So, the ionic potential or the polarizing power of these cations, which is defined as charge by radius, these charges are same and the radius here it is greater and it is in the denominator. So, what we will have? We will have phi Na plus greater than phi K plus. See, it has a greater radius, so greater value here. So, it will be lesser for K plus compared to Na plus. So, this is the charge density actually. Now, more the charge density, more it will be hydrated. So, this sodium plus ion will be more hydrated compared to this potassium ion. So, the extent of hydration in sodium plus will be greater. Now, if we consider water to be looking like this, so we have del minus here, del plus at these two terminals. So, it will be hydrated like this. The negatively charged poles will surround this cation, and here also potassium will be surrounded by water molecules. Now, see here the charge density is greater, so the extent of hydration will be greater. Here the charge density is less, so the extent of hydration will be less. For example, let us take here 10 molecules has been adhered to sodium plus ion, and here 6 molecules of water has been adhered to potassium plus ion. Now, what will be the mass after hydration? So, for sodium plus it is 23 plus 10 into 18 per molecule, so it will be 180. So, it is 203. It is the net molecular mass of this hydrated sodium plus ion. What will be the value for this one? It is 39 approximately, plus 6 into 18. So, 6 into 10, 60, 48. So, it is 108, 8, 9, 17, 1, 3, 4. Check it please. 9, 8, 17, 1, 3, 1, 4 and 1, 147. So, after hydration, what is the picture? You see the hydrated sodium ion is actually heavier than the hydrated potassium ion. Greater charge density, greater extent of hydration. So, the effective molecular weight is greater. Less charge density due to bigger size. So, less extent of hydration. Small number of water molecules are getting adhered to this cation. So, the effective molecular weight is lesser compared to this one. Here it is 147. Now, we are maintaining the same temperature 25 degrees centigrade in both the cases. So, the average kinetic energy of these two species will remain the same. Now, if it is heavier, then its velocity will be lesser. Constant temperature will imply a constant average kinetic energy. Now, if it is having a higher mass, then what must happen to the velocity? Its velocity must be less. So, it is having a greater mass, so its velocity will be less. It is having a lesser mass, so its velocity will be higher. So, which one is traveling with a greater velocity? This hydrated K plus actually will travel with a greater velocity. So, it has a greater ionic mobility. So, if K plus moves faster than Na plus, what will be the value of the conductances? It will have a greater conductance than NaCl. So, that is our experimental result. Lambda KCl is greater than lambda NaCl. It is 141.27, it is 118.34. So, it is in good agreement. The experimental result are in good agreement with the theory. Okay. So, hope you understand this philosophy. You have to find the problems from your textbooks. You have to identify them, select them, then try to solve them with the theory that you know, that you have gained till date, and if you have not gained, try to gain it, study a lot and try to crack the problems. That is the procedure only to build scientific minds. Now, I am starting today's topic. Okay. So, today's topic is effect of dilution on equivalent and specific conductance. Now, the effect of dilution on equivalent conductance and molar conductance will be exactly similar. So, I will explain the equivalent conductance to you only, and that explanation will also work for molar conductance. Now, let us first start with this specific conductance. We take two electrodes, we dip it within a solution of strong electrolyte, say KCl. So, we are going to measure the conductance of the solution that is enclosed between these two electrodes. Now, we know the relation, we have used it multiple times, that is conductance equals to specific conductance into A by L, or kappa equals to L into L by A. Now, when L equal to 1 centimeter and A equals to 1 centimeter square, we have kappa equals to L. Okay. So, specific conductance kappa is actually the conductance of the electrolytic solution that is enclosed between two electrodes which have surface area 1 square centimeter for each, and they are separated by a distance 1 centimeter. So, you have a unit Cc solution enclosed between the two electrodes, and the conductance that is manifested by that solution is the specific conductance of that species. So, this is the definition. Now, let us start with 1.0 normal solution. So, when we start with 1.0 normal solution, so we take a 1D picture. So, this is the electrode, this is another electrode. So, these are having 1 square centimeter surface area and they are 1 centimeter apart from each other. Now, when we place the 1.0 normal solution of KCl, 1.0 normal KCl solution, we have K plus ions everywhere, and also the counter Cl minus anions. So, it must be electrically neutral, that is the reality. So, if we start with this concentration say 1.0, then we will get a certain amount of conductance, and if the electrodes are placed 1 centimeter apart from each other and they have 1 square centimeter surface area, then that conductance will be the specific conductance for the solution. So, what is that value? It is 0.11173. Okay. Now, this solution is diluted 10 times. See, it is 1.0, it is 0.1. So, we have diluted it 10 times. Now, we are pouring water in it so that the volume increases by 10 times. Now, what will happen? We are pouring water in this solution, so it will be diluted, then this minus will come here, say this minus will come here, for example, this minus will come here, okay, this minus will come here, this minus will come here. So, when you dilute this solution, what will happen? These ions will move apart from each other, since the solution tries to remain homogeneous. Okay. Now, what will be the fate of the cations? This plus will get here, this plus will come here, and this plus say will shift to that place, this plus to this place, and say this plus will come here. Okay. So, they are separated away from each other so that a homogeneous solution is obtained. Now, the number of ions are not changing. You are pouring water into it so that the concentration changes from 1.0 normal to 0.1 normal. So, the total number of ions are fixed, but you see, since the ions have moved throughout the solution from this space, now within the two electrodes you are getting small number of ions compared to the previous case. Compared to the case 1.0 normal, in the case of 0.1 normal, you are having small number of ions between the two electrodes. Now, specific conductance is defined as the conductance of a solution that is enclosed between these two electrodes. So, you can easily notice that the number of ions are decreasing. So, now if the number of ions decreases, then it will fall rapidly. So, with dilution, number of ions decreases and kappa falls rapidly. The ions are responsible for conductance, and those factors are missing. Ions, and the number of ions is getting reduced rapidly. So, kappa will fall rapidly. Now, there is another factor. When you have a large number of plus minus here concentrated in this place, then there was a huge amount of interionic attraction. Attraction between the oppositely charged ions was preventing the ions to move faster. So, when the plus minus is nearby, then this plus will attract this negative and will prevent it from going to the electrode. But upon dilution, these two opposite charges get apart from each other, and this increases the ionic mobility. So, when we dilute, you get an enhanced ionic mobility due to the decrement in the interionic forces. Okay. So, with dilution, kappa increases owing to increase in ionic mobility due to decrease in attraction between oppositely charged ions. So, we have two contributing factors. Number of ions is decreasing, and that is a dominating factor. So, kappa falls rapidly, but the speed of ions is increasing due to decrease in the attraction between the oppositely charged ions, since they are getting more separated from each other owing to dilution. So, kappa is increasing by small amount and decreasing by huge amount. So, overall it will fall. So, with dilution, with increasing dilution, with decrease in concentration of the solution, kappa is going to fall. So, you see, when you switch from 1.0 normal to 0.1 normal to 0.01 normal, you see the values of specific conductance. It is 0.11173 and this value 0.01. So, it is of lesser value compared to this one, and for this concentration 0.01 normal 0.0014. So, it is even smaller. So, this is the reason why specific conductance falls with increase in dilution, that is decrease in concentration. Okay. Now, what will be the case for equivalent conductance? Now, when you are dealing with equivalent conductance, you guarantee that there is 1 gram equivalent of ions between the two electrodes. So, that is the definition. Equivalent conductance is the conductance of an electrolytic solution containing 1 gram equivalent of dissolved electrolyte between the electrodes, such that the entire solution is placed within the two electrodes. So, you have to guarantee that 1 gram equivalent electrolyte must remain present between the two electrodes. The solution, the entire solution must remain present within the two electrodes, and they must contain, and it must contain 1 gram equivalent electrolyte. So, that is the definition. Now, when you dilute such solution starting from 1.0 normal, so that is the previous case where you have large number of plus minus here. when you pour water and dilute it, the volume is going to enlarge. Now, when the volume of the solution enhances, what do you have to do? You have to increase the size of electrode. So, in that case, you have to take this one as the electrode. Why? Since in the definition it is that the entire solution containing 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte must remain present within the space between the two electrodes which are placed 1 centimeter apart from each other. So, if you dilute it, the volume of the solution is going to increase, and if I am dealing with equivalent conductance, I will increase the size of the electrodes accordingly so as to engulf that increased solution. So, here the number of ions is not going to decrease, it will remain the same. So, this factor is absent, that is, with dilution number of ions decreases. No, in case of equivalent conductance, number of ions remain the same. But in concentrated condition, there was attraction between the oppositely charged ions, and when you dilute, this attraction decreases. The Coulombic electrostatic force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions decreases with increase in dilution. This minus will move faster, this plus will move faster. So, what will happen? The equivalent conductance will increase with increase in dilution. Now, see the values. For 1.0 normal, the value is 111.9, and when you dilute it, the number of ions remaining the same, but the interionic attraction decreases. So, the ionic mobility increases, so it must increase. See the value for 0.1 normal, that is in the dilute condition, the value has increased, and with further dilution, we have a further increase in value. Now, in the next lecture, I will continue with this, and there I will focus on the behavior of strong and weak electrolytes with reference to equivalent and specific conductance in detail. Okay, stay with me. Thank you.